Marcelo Alberto Bielsa Caldera is an Argentine football coach in charge of Ligue 1 club Olympique de Marseille. Bielsa has managed football clubs and also the national teams of Argentina and Chile. In Chile, he achieved cult status due to the improved results of the national team under his leadership. His personality and gestures have in Chile captured the attention of media and unleashed a series of minor controversies both in the area of sports and politics. In 1980, after retiring from playing in football, Bielsa decided to start a career as a football manager. His first assignment was coaching the youth divisions of Argentine club Newell's Old Boys. In 1990, Bielsa was given the task of managing Newell's first team, where he would later go on to win the 1990 Torneo Apertura and the 1990 Euro 91 Torneo Integración, then defeating Boca Juniors on penalties. ʻloko managed the squad that competed in the final of the 1992 Copa Libertadores, losing to São Paulo on penalties. Weeks later, after enduring defeat in the Copa Libertadores final, Bielsa and Newell won the 1992 Torneo Clausura. Early years: as a child, Bielsa opted to support Newell's Old Boys instead of neighbors and eternal rivals Rosario Central, the team his father passionately followed. Coming from a family steeped in politics and law, Bielsa decided to break with tradition by dedicating his life to the sport of football. His vocation was in stark contrast to that of his older brother Rafael, who was a politician as of 2007, national deputy from the capital district of Buenos Aires, while his sister Maria Eugenia is a former vice-governor of the province of Santa Fe. He played as a defender in Newell's Old Boys' first division team, but soon retired at the age of 25. Bielsa went on to develop his career as coach in that team after qualifying as a physical education teacher. He led Newell's to several wins in the early 1990s. He moved to Mexico in 1992, briefly coaching Club Atlas and Club Árgentina. Bielsa returned to Argentina in 1997 to manage VAR copyright Les Zarrosfield. Managerial career: the Argentine national team. In 1998, Bielsa was given the manager's job at Espanyol, but he soon left after being offered the Argentina job later that year, taking over after a 4-year period by Daniel Passarella as manager. Argentina won the qualifiers to 2002 World Cup but did not go through the first round. Despite this, Bielsa was given a second chance to lead Argentina to major success and stayed on his position. Albicelestes were runners-up in 2004 Copa Libertadores and won the 2004 Olympic Games gold medal. Argentina became the first Latin American team to win the Olympic title in football since 1928, when Argentina beat Paraguay in the final. Bielsa resigned at the end of 2004 and Jose Pekerman became Argentina's manager. The Chilean national team. Under his guidance, the Chilean national team underwent many positive and negative historic firsts. Chile for the first time were able to earn a point playing Uruguay in Montevideo. Chile also suffered their worst defeat ever when playing at home during qualifiers, losing 3-0 against Paraguay. This historic low was repeated again when Chile lost 3-0 against Brazil, which also marked the first home loss against Brazil in a qualification game in nearly 50 years. On October 15, 2008, Bielsa masterminded a supremely well-played match with a 1-0 win over his native Argentina. It was Chile's first win ever over Argentina in an official match and prompted the resignation of Argentina coach Alfio Basile. Chile soundly beat Peru in a 3-1 match in Lima, a location where Chile had its last victory in 1985. Bielsa then had Chile win 2-0 at the Defensores del Chaco Stadium against host Paraguay after almost 30 years. He and the Chilean national team continued the road to the World Cup with a victory over Bolivia, 4-0. After a 2-2 tie against Venezuela in Santiago and going to Brazil to lose 2-4 against them, the Chile national football team finally achieved qualification to the 2010 FIFA World Cup by defeating Colombia 4-2, which was also Chile's first ever away win against the Colombian team. By helping Chile to qualify to a World Cup after a 2-tournament absence, he reached almost an idol status in that country. Bielsa's appointment brought about visible changes in the Chilean setup, with the fast-tracking of young talents and a more attacking mindset away from home. Considering the rumors that Bielsa will not continue to lead the Chilean after completion the FIFA World Cup 2010, Chilean fans have campaigned to Bielsa will remain the coach of the Chilean national team, called Bielsa is not leaving. On August 2, 2010, Harold Main Nichols, president of Chile's Asociación Nacional de Fútbol Profesional, announced that Bielsa will remain the coach of the Chilean national selection until at least 2015. Bielsa stated that he would leave his position if Jorge Segovia were elected as president of the Chilean Football Board. He followed through on this threat, despite Segovia's election being annulled, and resigned in February 2011. Athletic Bilbao. On October 3, 2011, Bielsa, a devout Catholic, visited the Poor Clares of Guernica alongside his wife. He wanted them to pray for his team, which they have done ever since. The signing of Spanish under-21 midfielder Ander Herrera was agreed well before the end of the season, although the young star elected to stay with formative club Real Zaragoza as a gesture of respect as they battled against relegation. However, the players began to adjust to the changes as the season progressed, and following an away victory at local rivals Real Sociedad. Athletic produced a good run of autumn form which included wins over Paris Saint-Germain, Osasuna and Sevilla as well as credible draws with Valencia and Barcelona only to drop points at home to newly promoted Granada. The team also finished top of their Europa League group and defeated Lokomotiv Moscow in the last 32. Athletic then drew Manchester United and in impressive style won 3-2 in the first leg at Old Trafford, going on to knock them out of the tournament with a 2-1 victory at home, a victory which was just as impressive as the one at Old Trafford. In the quarter-final, they went to Schalke and won the first leg 4-2, despite being 2-1 down after a raw El brace on 72 minutes. Bilbao drew the second leg against Schalke 2-2, going through to the Europa League semi-finals with a favourable aggregate score of 6-4, to face Sporting Lisbon. Athletic lost the first leg of the semi-final 2-1 in Portugal. They overturned this result in the return leg and ran out 4-3 winners on aggregate when Lawrence scored the winner in the 88th minute. They were now set to face Atletico Madrid in an all-Spanish Europa League final. They lost 3-0 to Atletico Madrid on May 9 in the Europa League final at the Arena Națională Florin in Bucharest, Romania. On May 25, 2012, they also lost the Copa del Rey final against Barcelona in Vicente Calderón Cubden, Madrid with score 3-0. The 2012-13 season was a major disappointment for Athletic Bilbao, the sale of key midfielder Xavi Martinez and with striker Fernando Llorente frozen out of the club over contract disagreements, Bilbao's performances faltered, finishing only 12th. On June 7, 2013, Athletic's president revealed that Bielsa would not be offered a new contract. His contract expired on June 30, 2013. Marseille. On May 2, 2014, Olympique de Marseille president Vincent Lebrun announced the officialization of the club on a French radio station. Lebrun had previously confirmed an agreement in principle had been reached after the club's 0-0 Ligue 1 draw with LOSC Lille Metropole on April 20. Bielsa has agreed a 2-year contract, and will begin after the 2014 FIFA World Cup. He is the club's first Argentine coach. Coaching style. A fanatic of football videos that he adds to his collection, Bielsa on occasion checks pitch measurements by pacing them out before deciding on a particular formation. He allocates separate training times for different parts of his squad. Former Argentine national team captain Roberto Ayala and defender under Bielsa stated sometimes we wouldn't see any of the strikers, because he'd have them training at a different time, and it was the same with the midfielders. He is known for watching and collecting numerous football videos to the point of obsession. He edits and analyzes each video for each individual player. He also utilizes statistical software and other technological tools to prepare for games. John Carlin, an English journalist, has stated that Bielsa has the most learned football library on the planet. Former Athletic Bilbao striker Fernando Llorente said in an interview, At first he seems tough and he may even annoy you with his persistence and don't take no for an answer resilience, but in the end he is a genius. Current Bayern Munich and former Barcelona manager Pep Guardiola called him the best manager in the world in 2012. As Bielsa refuses to grant exclusive interviews, the press conference has become his preferred method of communication. He has been known to field every last question from the assembled media during these gatherings. If the talk turns to the intricacies of the game, a 3 or even 4-hour press conference is possible. According to him, every section of the media should get the same attention from me, from the capital's most prominent TV channel to the smallest newspaper in the provinces. Managerial statistics. As of June 1, 2013. Chile's results, honors, manager, club, Newell's Old Boys, Primera Division, winner, 1990 Euro 91, Clausura 1992. Copa Libertadores, runner-up, 1992 Copa Libertadores. VAR copyright Les Zarrosfield, Primera Division, winner, Clausura 1998. Athletic Bilbao, Copa del Rey, runner-up, 2011 Euro 12. UEFA Europa League, runner-up, 2011 Euro 12. International, Argentina, Olympic Games, gold medal, 2004 Olympic Games. Copa Arma copyright Rica, runner-up, 2004. Chile, Toulon Tournament, runner-up, 2008. Individual honors, IFFHS World's Best National Team Coach of the Year 2001. References. External links, profile at football.com, profile at athletic-club.com, Marcelo Bielsa at FIFA.com.